Hey guys, this is Michael with Quiet Lawn. I hope you're doing well. Just sitting here, wanted to make a quick video. The topic of this video is, how we're able to generate such high revenue per field employee. Currently, Quiet Lawn is we're a lawn care business. We offer mowing, we offer fertilization and weed control, we offer pest control, and during the off season, we offer Christmas lights. So, we do bring in some part-time help at Christmas time, but still, if you looked out throughout the whole year, we still have two full-time employees. Like, we still have the same number of hours of they call it full-time equivalents, FTEs, but we get by the whole year and generate that much revenue with just two employees. So we're doing 200,000 plus per full-time field employee. That's probably double what your average is in the industry, maybe even more, a lot more in some cases. Generally you see a full-time employee generate between $50,000 and $120,000 in revenue per employee with a lawn care landscaping company. Some of them, I don't know how they're making it because they're barely charging enough to be able to pay the employee. But we do it we're able to do it for a few reasons. One is we price our services to where we can be profitable. We know our numbers. So, I've made several videos on how to price your work, how to calculate your man-hour costs for each of your services, and then how to apply that to estimates. So one is we make sure we price our work properly where it's profitable. Two, we over the years we've more and more moved into higher margin services like fertilization, weed control, and pest control. Mowing is a good business. It's a great way to start. And depending on where you are in the country, you can run a good mowing business. In my opinion, there's a lot more headaches with it. You have a lot more equipment issues, vehicle issues, employee issues, but you can do it and it can be a beautiful business. There's nothing at all wrong with it. I prefer, especially in our area, because mowing isn't the best service. We just don't have a long season like some other parts of the country, further south or further north. I prefer higher margin services like fertilization and weed control. We go out and spray lawns for weeds and fertilize the lawns, and we do that throughout the year here in the South. So that's a year-round service. Another thing we just added and what we're moving into is pest control. Pest control is an even higher margin service than fertilization weed control, and it requires even less equipment. The fertilization weed control requires a fraction of the cost of equipment as mowing, and then pest control requires a lot less than even that. So, not only do those services generate more per man hour, you're able to charge a higher price because you don't have as much competition, and you have barriers to entry like the licenses that you're required to get. But you're able to charge a higher price because of that. So it just makes it a more profitable business or higher revenue generating business. So we do it by proper pricing. We do it by offering high margin services that are year round. And the third one is that's the key, is year round. So the key is you got to keep your guys working year round. If you're only working 4, 5, 6, 7 months a year, it's really tough. One, to keep your employees, because you can't keep them working. Two, it's you're not going to be able to generate enough revenue, a lot of revenue. So we started adding services like Christmas lights. That's really the main one that we added to keep us busy in the off season. Couple things that helps with is, one, like I said, it generates a lot more revenue in a small time and during a time that we don't normally have any revenue coming in. And it helps keep our guys working so that we can actually keep our staff employed and be able to keep them from year to year, and they don't jump ship and go find another job every winter because you can't keep them busy and they need to feed their family. So we've added Christmas lights, and that's became a big chunk of our business. That's about probably a third of our business now is Christmas lights, and it's only 2 months a year. So just doing that stuff, by doing that, the first couple of years, we were like everybody else. I was doing maybe $100,000 to $200,000 a year, and we were only offering services during the summer. We were underpricing our work, and I probably had 4, 5, 6 part-time guys working with me to generate $100,000 to $200,000. We were just not making money at all. And over the years, we've gotten more and more efficient with what we do. And now, we're to the point, like I said, we're generating $200,000 plus in revenue per employee. The other thing is, by having, Ibrahim and his team handling everything but the labor itself, we're able to be extremely efficient, to whereas the guys don't have to do any stuff besides the actual work itself. They just show up. Their schedule is made by Ibrahim and the team. All the routing is done. Like, they don't need to do anything extra. They don't need to do any selling. They don't need to do any customer service. They don't need to spend time, doing this and that. The guys can spend 100% of their time doing work that generates revenue. So that's another big thing, is having a good team behind you that helps with all that. We offer that now. We offer that to other companies. We've had fantastic results with having Ibrahim do the same thing for a handful of other companies that we've been kind of beta testing with the last couple of years. The name of that service, the name of our other business that offers these same services that Ibrahim does for Quiet Lawn, is called Service Simplify. But we've seen amazing results with that, helping other businesses. We helped a guy start an irrigation company in Florida last year, from scratch in the spring. And this year, it's July, the end of July, 2025. He's already done $500,000 just in 2025 in revenue. So he'll probably hit 700, 750. We helped another business, down in Florida, grow from the hundreds in revenue a couple years ago. Now they're probably going to do 600 or 700 this year. So they've gotten really good results. The Ibrahim and those guys know exactly what to do. They know where you're at in your business. They know how to run ads. They know how to deal with customers. They know how to set price stuff, send estimates, close leads. So if that's something you're interested, you can go to servicesimplify.com. But yeah, basically that's how you're going to maximize your revenue, because you can't make money if you're not getting at least, probably, if your labor is over 30%, 35%. Your field labor, it's hard to make money, so, if you're only generating, if you're paying your guy $30,000, $40,000 a year and you're only generating $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 per employee, it's really hard to make money at that. You need to figure out ways to keep them busy year round, and you need to maximize the revenue with either the services that you offer or the pricing that you have for those services. But I hope that helps. If you have any comments or feedback or suggestions, please leave them in the comments, and look forward to hearing from you guys.